Eight Branches Technique. One of the most visually stunning and terrifying jutsu in Naruto. The technique draws from Orochimaru's connection to the White Snake's power, essentially his ultimate trump card. What makes this jutsu absolutely insane is the sheer versatility. Those 8 heads aren't just for show. Each one can attack separately, creating a nightmare scenario where you're getting bombarded from every possible angle. And just when you think you figured out the pattern, Orochimaru emerges from any of the mouths wielding the legendary Kusanagi sword. We saw this perfectly during his fight with Itachi. However, this overwhelming display of power couldn't stand up to Susanoo's Totsuka blade and Yata mirror. Sometimes raw power meets technique, and technique wins. Spirit Transformation Technique. Dan Kato's Spirit Transformation Technique is probably one of the most terrifying jutsu you've ever thought about. Imagine separating your soul from your body and becoming a ghost that can kill people by just touching them. That's exactly what this S-rank technique does. Once Dan activates this jutsu, he becomes completely untouchable. Physical attacks? Useless. His spirit form hunts down targets no matter where they hide, and a single touch can crush someone's soul. It's like having a heat-seeking missile that phases through walls and can't be stopped. During the Fourth Great Ninja War, he used it to reach Tsunade and transfer all of his remaining chakra to heal her. The real genius behind spirit transformation isn't just its lethality. It's the psychological warfare. Your enemy knows you're coming, but they can't see you, can't fight you. Man, if Dan had become an assassin, he would have easily been one of the top assassins out there. Just a second, thanks to all the friends who have been with us from the very beginning, and also to the new members of our community. We've reached 10,000 subscribers, and now we are aiming for 25,000. We know the anime world is huge, and everyone has their favorite shows and stories. Soon, we want to dive deeper into one of the greatest legends, One Piece. What do you think if our channel adds more good analysis, theories, and reviews about Luffy's journey and the Straw Hat crew? Please let us know what you think. Now, let's get back to Dead Demon Consuming Seal. Now, you're facing an enemy so powerful that nothing else will work. Your village is in danger, people are dying, and you're out of options. That's when you perform the hand seals that summon the Shinigami, the actual Grim Reaper. The Shinigami appears behind you, invisible to everyone else, and reaches through your body to grab your target's soul. Your enemy becomes completely helpless. No jutsu, no movement, nothing. They just watch as their soul gets ripped out and sealed away forever. And then, the Shinigami takes your soul too, trapping both of you in an eternal battle inside its stomach. We've seen this technique used twice in the most heartbreaking moments of the series. Hiruzen used it against Orochimaru during the Konoha Crush, managing to seal the first and second Hokage, but only getting Orochimaru's arms before his strength gave out. Then there's Minato, who split Kurama in half and sealed the yin chakra in himself, while putting the yang chakra in baby Naruto. This jutsu literally is making a deal with death itself. Creation Rebirth. This S-rank medical technique is basically Tsunade's way of saying, not today, to death. Here's how this crazy jutsu works. Instead of healing damaged cells, it triggers rapid cell division throughout your entire body. Got stabbed through the heart? No problem. Your body just creates new heart tissue instantly. Missing organs? They'll grow back before you can blink. The catch? You need the yin seal on your forehead, which requires years of chakra accumulation. Think of it as your personal battery pack for immortality. When Tsunade releases that diamond-shaped mark, those intricate patterns spread across her face, and suddenly, she's practically unkillable. But you know, the number of times the human body can divide its cells is limited. The more you abuse this jutsu, the faster you age. Strength of 100 Seal. This can be considered an upgraded version of Creation Rebirth. Just like Creation Rebirth, they have to release the Yin Seal. However, those intricate patterns spread across their entire body, not just the face, like they've just unlocked God mode. What makes it even more powerful is that you don't have to wait, and you don't need any hand seals. This is an auto-heal technique that doesn't require any conscious control from the user. Got injured? Ignore it. No big deal. Got stabbed by Susanoo's sword? Whatever. Like that could kill you. As long as you still have chakra, you'll stay alive. And just like that, a medical ninja can instantly become a frontline tank charging into battle. However, in the history of the shinobi world, only 2 ninja have mastered this technique: Tsunade and her student Sakura. Flying Thunder God, this is probably one of the coolest jutsu in all of Naruto. It's all about redefining what speed even means in a fight. Here's what makes this technique absolutely broken. Tobirama and Minato don't just move quickly, they literally step through dimensional space to appear wherever they've placed their special markers. Those kunai Minato throws around are potential exit points from anywhere in the universe. What separates this from other space-time jutsu is the tactical genius behind it. While techniques like Kamui let you phase through attacks, Flying Thunder God lets you control the entire battlefield. Minato could scatter marked kunai across an area, then appear behind enemies faster than they could blink. Imagine fighting someone who could vanish mid-conversation and reappear with a Rasengan already spinning toward your back. That's exactly why entire armies would retreat just hearing Yellow Flash was on the battlefield. Kieran. When Sasuke unleashed Kieran against Itachi, he literally called down nature's wrath in the form of a lightning dragon. This S-rank technique is absolutely insane because it barely uses any chakra at all. Instead, Sasuke acts like a lightning rod director, guiding natural lightning strikes with surgical precision. Here's what makes Kieran terrifying. It moves at 1/1000th of a second. That's faster than most people can even blink, let alone dodge. Yeah, but you need thunderclouds first. No storms around, no problem. Just burn the sky with Amaterasu or some massive fire jutsu to create your own weather system. Pretty casual stuff for an Uchiha. Kieran obliterated an entire mountainside and shattered Itachi's Susanoo. However, what really makes it special is the chakra cost. Normally, the stronger the technique, the more chakra it drains. But Kieran lets you harness nature itself as your weapon. The only drawback? You can't exactly spam it unless you're standing in the middle of a natural thunderstorm. There's one more S-rank lightning-style jutsu we need to mention, and that's Raichiri. Raichiri, also known as Lightning Cutter, is basically Kakashi Hatake's upgraded and more precise version of the classic Chidori technique. While it shares the same core concept as Chidori, Raichiri is sharpened to be deadlier and more refined. Pulling it off requires insane speed, which also makes the user vulnerable if they're not careful. That's why mastering it safely pretty much demands the Sharingan to avoid getting wrecked in the process. Even though it hits hard, Raichiri can't just be spammed. Back in the early Naruto days, Kakashi could only use it about 4 times a day because it seriously drained his chakra reserves. Well, that makes sense. If you spam an S-rank jutsu too much, it would be way too OP. Well, by the time Shippuden rolled around, Kakashi had way better chakra control, letting him use Raichiri more frequently, and even get creative with how he applied it. During the Fourth Great Ninja War, Kakashi took it to a whole new level, unleashing Raichiri empowered by the Six Paths power against Kaguya, something totally impossible for a normal technique. He even combined Raichiri with Kamui, making the lightning strike able to pass through any material, turning it into one of the deadliest moves in the entire Naruto saga. Living Corpse Reincarnation. Orochimaru's Living Corpse Reincarnation is basically the ultimate cheat code for immortality. This S-rank jutsu lets him literally steal someone else's body by transferring his soul into them. It's like the world's most twisted form of identity theft. Here's how this nightmare works. Orochimaru reveals his true form, a massive white snake made of countless smaller snakes, and swallows his target whole. Then they duke it out in a mental dimension where whoever's willpower is stronger wins the body. He can only do this once every 3 years because the host body starts rejecting him like a bad organ transplant. With this jutsu, Orochimaru becomes practically immortal, hopping from one powerful ninja to another, collecting their abilities. He specifically targeted Sasuke for those sweet Sharingan powers, which shows just how calculating this snake really is. Night Guy. This is the most devastating taijutsu technique we've ever seen in Naruto. This isn't just another flashy jutsu. This is Might Guy literally burning his life force to deliver one perfect kick that could reshape the battlefield. It requires opening all 8 gates, including the Death Gate. We're talking about unlocking every single limiter your body has to protect itself. But then, Guy becomes a human missile wrapped in red aura that looks like a dragon. The visual alone tells you this technique doesn't mess around. Guy literally channels everything, his chakra, his life energy, his years of training, into a single devastating kick. The speed is so intense, it literally warps space around the attack. This technique moves so fast it bends reality itself. No wonder Madara, who had been casually swatting away attacks, suddenly looked genuinely terrified. What really sets Night Guy apart from other S-rank jutsu is the complete commitment it demands. There's no holding back, no second chances. It's a one-shot technique that costs everything. When Guy used it against Madara, he nearly cracked the Ten Tails Jinchuriki in half, someone who was practically untouchable at that point. Shosei Tensei, the hidden sand village, has some truly dangerous jutsu. Developed exclusively by Chiyo of Sunagakure, this kenjutsu represents everything terrifying about medical ninjutsu taken to its logical extreme. The mechanics are brutally simple, yet philosophically devastating. The user transfers their entire life force through a pale blue chakra stream to resurrect the dead or save the dying. When Chiyo uses it to bring back Gaara after Shukaku's extraction, she's not just performing medical treatment. She's literally trading her existence for his. Chiyo is a medical nin, and clearly, this is a life-for-life jutsu meant to save others. However, it's actually an incomplete technique. Originally, it was researched so that she could give Sasori's puppet versions of his parents the souls of their real counterparts. She developed this jutsu because of Sasori, and also for combat purposes. Chiyo is a puppet master, and she wanted to breathe life into her puppets to enhance their combat abilities. Can you imagine it? Puppet bodies can be replaced. If one puppet gets destroyed, you just transfer the soul into another and keep fighting. Essentially, the Hidden Sand Village could have created an army of puppets as strong as Sakura, or even as powerful as Sasori, since the bodies can be mechanized and vastly superior to normal human bodies. But Sunagakure immediately banned the technique after its creation for humanitarian reasons. It violates the natural order of life and death, manipulating the souls of the dead and forcing them to fight. Similar to Edotensei. If Chiyo had truly perfected this jutsu and the Hidden Sand had approved its use, it's possible they could have united the 5 great nations and redrawn the entire world map. White Secret Technique, the Chikamatsu collection of 10 puppets. This is another technique used by Lady Chiyo, a true puppet master. And honestly, it's terrifying to watch. When Chiyo unleashes all 10 puppets simultaneously, you're witnessing decades of refined artistry turned into a weapon of mass destruction. Each puppet packs the punch of 1,000 lesser ones. That's legendary craftsmanship. What makes this technique genuinely spine-chilling is the coordination. 10 individual death machines moving in perfect harmony, each controlled by a single finger through chakra strings. The mental processing power required is astronomical, yet Chiyo makes it look effortless. And speaking of puppets, of course we have to mention Red's secret technique, performance of 100 puppets, one of the most visually insane techniques in all of Naruto. When Sasori opens his chest and releases over 100 chakra strings, you know things are about to get absolutely wild. This is puppet warfare on a scale that could level entire nations. The mechanics here are honestly terrifying when you think about it. Sasori connects directly from his puppet core to summoning scrolls, bypassing the usual limitations that hold back puppet masters. Most ninja can barely handle 10 puppets at once. Sasori? He's conducting a symphony of destruction with over 100 marionettes of death. What makes this technique so devastating isn't just the numbers game, though that's certainly part of it. Every single weapon these puppets carry is coated with Sasori's special poison, the kind that gives you 3 days of excruciating pain before you die. Imagine facing down an army where even a scratch means you're done for. The crazy part is how effortlessly Sasori controls them all. No hand signs, no visible strain, just pure chakra mastery flowing directly from his core. It's like watching someone play a 100-player video game simultaneously while making it look easy. The man literally conquered an entire country with this technique, and honestly, it's not hard to see why. Their one major weakness? A lack of coordination. Sasori compensates for this flaw with sheer overwhelming numbers. Reverse 4 symbols, sealing. Here's the thing about Danzo's reverse 4 symbol sealing. It's basically the ninja equivalent of setting up a booby trap with your own corpse. The setup is as brilliant as it is morbid. Before dying, Danzo carved the sealing formula directly onto his chest, essentially turning himself into a ticking time bomb. The moment his heart stopped beating, his blood activated 4 symbols that unleashed a massive black sphere around his body. It's like a giant vacuum cleaner. Everything within range gets sucked in and sealed away forever inside his corpse. What makes this jutsu absolutely devastating is its automatic trigger mechanism. Unlike other techniques that require conscious activation, this one goes off whether you want it to or not once you're dead. Danzo wanted to use this technique to take Sasuke down with him, but nope. Obito managed to save Sasuke just in time with his Kamui. Phantom Dragon's 9, Consuming Seals. This is one of the most devastating sealing techniques, famously used by Pain and the Akatsuki. The jutsu forcibly extracts the tailed beasts from their Jinchuriki, a brutal process so agonizing it usually kills the host. First, Pain summons the Gedo Mazo statue. Then, the 9 Akatsuki members position themselves on the tips of the statue's fingers. Chakra flows from the statue, triggering special seals on the rings worn by each member. Suddenly, 9 chakra dragons shoot out from the statue's mouth, coiling around the Jinchuriki and initiating the sealing. And keep in mind, summoning Gedo Mazo isn't just about having the Rinnegan, it also demands an enormous chakra reserve. This technique isn't just for sealing the beasts, it's a critical step in the Akatsuki's master plan to resurrect the terrifying Ten-Tails. Edotensei. The second Hokage really was a ninja genius. He literally created a jutsu where your enemies become your greatest assets after you've already killed them. Although Tobirama immediately banned this technique after inventing it, the truth is, he handed future generations the nuclear option of the ninja world. The concept is beautifully horrifying in its simplicity. Grab some DNA, sacrifice a living person, and then you've got yourself a legendary ninja who can't actually die. But here's where it gets really dark. This isn't just about bringing back the dead. It's about weaponizing grief and legacy. When Kabuto showed up to the Fourth Great Ninja War with an army of beloved heroes and feared villains, he was psychological warfare incarnate, forcing the living to fight their own mentors, friends, and legends. Yeah, every Edotensei requires a living person to serve as the vessel, meaning the technique demands fresh death to create undying soldiers. That's right, it's incredibly dangerous and comes at a very high cost. It was suitable for the Warring States era, the time when people died like flies. Furthermore, what makes this technique absolutely terrifying is its scalability. One skilled user can theoretically raise entire armies of S-rank shinobi, each retaining their original abilities while gaining immortality. Honestly, from an ethical perspective, this jutsu is pretty dark, but you can't deny it gave the series some of its most legendary battles. Water Prison Shark Dance Technique. This is one of the largest scale water techniques ever seen. Kisame creates a massive water dome using Great Exploding Water Colliding Wave, then transforms the battlefield into his personal hunting ground. Especially, it moves with him. While his opponents struggle to breathe and move underwater, Kisame becomes an apex predator in his element. When he nearly drowned Killer Bee, a perfect Jinchuriki, it proved this jutsu could challenge even the most powerful shinobi. See, a tailless monster using water techniques has to be at this level. Wind Release, Rasen Shuriken. This is one of Naruto's signature moves. Naruto literally weaponized his father's Rasengan by infusing it with wind nature, creating microscopic blades that slice enemies apart at the molecular level. Actually, early versions were basically self-harm attacks. Every time Naruto threw one, his arm got shredded by the same cellular damage he was dishing out. The technique was so brutal that even Tsunade banned him from using it. However, when he mastered Sage Mode, he could finally throw Rasen Shuriken without turning his hands into confetti, transforming what was essentially a kamikaze move into long-range artillery that could level mountains and reshape battlefields. Tailed Beastball. When we talk about raw, unfiltered destruction in Naruto, the Tailed Beastball stands as the gold standard. It's pure annihilation compressed into a sphere of chakra that can literally erase mountains from existence. What makes this technique absolutely terrifying is its deceptively simple concept. The user compresses positive and negative chakra in a precise 2:8 ratio, creating an orb of concentrated devastation. Sounds straightforward? Try maintaining that exact balance while channeling enough chakra to power a small village. Only tailed beasts and their Jinchuriki possess the monstrous chakra reserves necessary to pull this off without dying in the process. Its power? Just getting hit by one tailed beast ball could wipe out an entire ninja alliance. That's why ninja villages always want to control this power and use the Jinchuriki as military weapons. It's also why Hokage usually protect the village by redirecting the tailed beast bomb away from populated areas. Of course, all the variations of this move are also S rank, like continuous tailed beast balls or tailed beast Rasen Shuriken. These moves only show up in huge scale battles, while normally Rasengan and bigger Rasengan are enough. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.